How you doing, James?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. What you on with?
Sorted. Well, I've just got back from the office. So yeah, you're the first person I've spoken with since coming out of the office and being all official and all that. So yeah, you probably get the best of me now because I need to get rid of all that formality and shout a little bit.
Good man. I'm gonna need to be gone for 7:15 because I need to pick my daughter up from my mates, and there's too many Gary Glitters about, isn't there, in this world?
Yeah,
Make
unfortunately, yeah.
yeah. So, uh, I don't really know where to start. Really, how's your love life, James?
In love life, well, I've been called an horrible little narcissist, and which it isn't true. Like I don't really. Everything that's said on here, James is a persona, really. Do you know what I mean? So, unfortunately, you don't know me. You might love me, as all the housewives do, clearly. But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of red flags there, and I didn't mean to offend anybody by having a go at the girl from Barnsley. But yeah, my love life's non-existent now. I'm just leaving it.
James,
I'd
you're not
rather.
still hung up on that scrubber from Barnsley, are you, mate?
No, no, I'm not. I'm not, mate. I'm not. No, I'm not. I had, we had a couple of rounds. It was all right, and then I'm happy enough. Do you know what I mean?
Listen to me. There's plenty more viewers in the sea. All right.
Defo, defo.
So don't be getting hung up on some wench. There's loads
No,
about. All right, mate.
no. Yeah, thank you, mate.
No problem, mate. Listen, you got to look at it like this, mate. Scrubbers. You got to get rid of scrubbers, mate, because they stink.
Of course. And she's got no taste, mate. Because look at the remap wheelchair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
One
mate.
of,
What was she? Do you see where I'm coming from, mate? Going out with a dosser like you.
yeah, I know. I know. Well, no. To be fair, she did have taste because the reason why I did get rid of her, she told me she loved me after 2 dates.
Yeah.
Now, I've been in very intense relationships before. Someone with a lot of mental health issues was my ex, and I ignored red flags and I just fucking moved towards them. So I'm listening to my gut, and my gut tells me it's not right, so I'm moving away. So yeah, anyone who thinks I'm a narcissist, come and have a chat with me before you make such, pressing assumptions about me because you don't know me.
Hey,
Lots of love.
listen, mate. If I were to make assumptions about every comment or every email I get every single day, mate, I would have jacked this after 3 months, mate. So don't take
No,
it to heart.
oh yeah, no, I'm not. I was just thinking to myself, it's probably Parsons, isn't it?
Oh, mate, putting your cent in Parsons bracket is a big noise now, isn't it?
I know, yeah, I know. I'm too small fry for him. He wouldn't comment on a video of mine, would you, Charlie? Love you.
Right then, here we go. We've got 20 little things I want to talk about in a three-parter here. So we've got an hour. Right,
Right,
so
right.
here we go. Eubank, 100 grand fine. What do you think?
I think that the promoters need to stump up that cash and pay it because he's sold a lot more pay-per-views with that little egg smash to the face. So it was a necessary fine, really, because, well, I think they don't need all the help they can get because they can sell it, but every little helps, doesn't it? It will give them a few more quid. So yeah, Eddie Hearn and et al. They need to stump up the cash and give it
Well,
back to him.
Matchroom are saying they've put another 150,000 pay-per-views on the show at 20 quid a go. That's 3 million quid.
Well, there you go. Then he needs to see the lion's share of that because he owned that press conference, and there's a lot of people that don't like Eubank, but do you know what I mean? It worked like a dream, really, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Okay. Uh, Fury Joshua back in talks. Netflix have come to the table. That's Eddie's ace in the hole he's been going on about for the last few weeks. I think that's a little dig. But if they put it on Netflix, what does that say about Eddie Hills' relationship with DAZN?
Well, it tells you that it's a circus fight because what was the last fight that happened on Netflix? It was Mike Tyson, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Is Netflix going to be the home of the irrelevant? Because they're both irrelevant in my eyes. He's got a WBC. They're treating him like an emeritus champion at the WBC, and they giving him a title shot or putting him at number one. What has Tyson Fury done to deserve that? You got beat by the champion. Fight your way back up. No interest in that fight whatsoever.
He's been beat twice, hasn't he?
Exactly, by the man.
So, shouldn't he go to the bottom of rankings about number 15 now?
No, I wouldn't say 50. Well, I don't know. Well, there's people that have got more. There's people that have worked hard and got wins. So it depends how you do in the rankings. I don't know about 15. Is there even 15 decent heavyweights? I don't know. He needs to be at least 5 or 6.
Well, yeah, I see where Joshua went down to 8th after he got beat, didn't he? So,
Well, there you go then. But you know, Turkey's favourite, any Tyson Fury. So
okay.
you know,
Right, okay. Well, James, for us to get through all this, right, I don't need you to elaborate for 25 minutes on one topic and then take me down another avenue. You
I
remind me
know,
of a taxi driver, James, when I say, yeah, it's next left down here and you got a long way around. So
I know.
stop it
Sorry,
or you'll be banned.
I'll
Right.
shut the fuck up.
Right. James, who's asking questions, me or you?
You go on.
Right. Daniel Kinahan, strong arming McGregor to walk him out to the ring. Was it done to take a dig at the Irish police and Interpol, says Jonathan? They've got a
Everything.
talent as well. You know that bird who was hot on his case.
Yeah, on Crime World, she thinks that she's the one who got shot, doesn't she? Um, but we had a discussion about this, me and some of the commission lads last night about Kinahan. Everything he does is to wind people up, and there's a lot of people after his blood. I'm not a big fan of Kinahan and what he's doing. All I'll say is up Jerry Hutch, and you can make of that what you will.
This is how I look at it, right? Is Kinahan putting people into police because how can he be on the most wanted in the world and everybody knows where he is and they can't pick him up? So what use is he? He's obviously useful to some kind of authorities, isn't he? If not, they'd just go get him, wouldn't they went and got Bin Laden, didn't they? And Saddam Hussein. So why can't they just pick him up?
I know it does make you think. It does make you think.
Of course it does. He's obviously you of use to somebody. Do you know what
Hmm.
I mean? So what's going on here? I mean, we're not allowed to say out here.
Well,
It don't really bother
well,
me, but that's
no,
what
I'll say it. I'll say it. Drugs produce profit, and drugs produce money, and all of that. You know what I mean? He keeps it in circulation. He keeps an industry going, doesn't he? Drug enforcement agents. They can confiscate more of his earnings, confiscate more of his property while he's out doing what he wants to do. Ireland's not that big, is it? So you know, he keeps the wheels turning in his industry, and a lot of people get paid for it. So that's probably what it is.
well, everybody around him's getting locked up, but he's not getting locked up, is he?
No, Mr. Big.
Well, it doesn't take. It's not rocket science to work it out what's going on, is it? Well,
I
nobody
know,
wants
I
to
know.
talk about it, do they?
No, I don't mind.
Okay. Tony the Bell End is saying that Crusher Ben is now a caged animal and acting on emotion with this Junior Eubank fight. What do you make of that, James?
Well, acting on emotion would suggest that he had another avenue open to him. Acting on you know, skill and just the thought that he's going to win by skill alone. I think he could only ever act on emotion because he hasn't got any of the former. He's not skillful or anything like that. Everything Conor Ben does will be down to emotion because he's a drug cheat who was, pumped full of testosterone. You're going to be a bit angry, aren't you? So that's what I make of that.
Okay, there's been a lot of sermons lately. Sam Jones, Super Bean, Darren Barker, Bombay Dave's done 8 since the weekend, and Big Mal. What do you reckon about all these sermons? Are they doing too many?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's always been the case. Everyone does the rounds, don't they? Do you know what I mean? And I don't really listen to Bombay Dave. Certainly don't listen to Big Malk because you know that there's going to be a black fighter involved in there, and he's going to, that's all he's interested in talking about. So yeah, once you're once on a reputable channel, you don't need to keep hearing it again, do you? What would you do to Big Malk if you saw him in Sheffield, Russ?
I'd throw him a couple of chicken wings.
Fair play.
Oh, just I like to help people out, don't I, me? So
Yeah, cool.
Uh, Eddie Hill's calling Turkey are not His Excellency. Do you think there's a chink in the relationship, James?
Yeah, certainly, of course there is. But I'll turn around and I'll say, fair play to Eddie Hearn because I heard an interview that he did when they were asking him about the relationship, and he was quite diplomatic about it. I mean, you've had the discussion, and Eddie Hearn is a fantastic promoter, and he could work for the Prime Minister in terms of PR. And he just said, my four walls don't end with boxing, basically. But there's definitely some chink in the armor because let's face it, uh, Dana White could steal his job really in boxing, couldn't he? It's going to
Yeah.
piss you off.
Silence from Bricktop regarding Turkey and Dana White. What do you make of all that? I think Bricktop's just playing the game, James.
Yeah, I do because the thing is with Eddie Hearn can afford to come out and say something because he's got other industries under his belt. Whereas Bricktop is purely boxing. He's a boxing promoter. He's not a sports promoter. So he needs to make sure that his bread's buttered the right way. You know,
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn can move to snooker. He can move to darts. He can do other things. And I think he's going to lead boxing anyway in the next couple of years. This has just opened the door a bit wider for him.
Who's Eddie's top three guys from the UK in his stable?
Well, reputation. You got to say Joshua, but he's going to leave, isn't he? Katie Taylor's still with him. They're having the Serrano free fight, aren't they? And
What
that's a
next?
woman.
Now four.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what did you say there, Russ? Sorry, I thought I heard you
Said
say
top three. You said Katie Taylor and Big Meech. Who's third one?
Big Meat. Yeah, I'd probably say it's hard for me to say. Probably Dalton Smith.
When you put Crusher in that bracket because he's got a two-fight
No,
deal with Junior.
no, because it's just novelty. We're talking about skill, and I think he gets wiped out. So
Dalton
I
Smith's about
despise.
as exciting as a plank of wood, isn't he? Really, in interviews.
Yeah, he is, but it's not just about excitement. Like you, because Conor Ben, once he gets wiped out, where do they go with him? You know what I mean? He's made a load of money, but he's not going to go up the ladder, is he? Whereas Dalton Smith has the ability to be a world champion. Conor Ben couldn't knock WANK out before the omelettes and all that crap. I
Oh,
can't stand Conor Ben. You'll never hear me say anything positive about him, Ross. Despise him.
okay. Wardley against Pouleph's been ordered by WBA for regular. What do you think to that, James?
That is just basically putting a corpse firmly in his grave in Pulev. But good little ascension for Wardley. He's a name. He's someone the casuals can get behind because obviously Joshua's fought him, and it's just a natural next step. I said last week I don't agree with this WBA belt. They don't need to attach crap to it. But fair play to Wardley. He's moving on. He's an exciting fighter, and I hope he does the job nice and quick.
Poulef needs a walking stick to get to ring now. Is that old, James?
Exactly. He's creaking, mate. When he makes love, he rattles.
You know what I mean? Uh,
Yep.
uh, okay. Okay. Let's have a little think here. Obviously, the Lazy Rhino against Elmer Fudd is on.
Mm.
I think we're going to be inundated now with Daddy Fudd's intense Peking duck with Gary Glitter, the Gad. Uh,
Yep.
Paul Gad, or is it Gareth A Dad or Gad?
Yeah.
Either way, the Gad, Gary Glitter, and Daddy Ford. All we're hearing about is this intense, beef they've got, and it's
Intense
getting
beefing on for
boring now.
sure.
Every time there's an interview with the Gad or Daddy Ford, they're talking about the Gad saying that he thought Rhino won. Why can't we move on from that? How it's a crap story and very boring. What do you think?
Yeah. We can't move on because that is all that makes um, Daddy Fudd relevant, really. I put a comment on a video about it the other day, and he was he calling Gad a nobody? Now, Gareth A. Davis is a grade A prat, but he's achieved far more in boxing than Daddy Fudd will ever do. Daddy Fudd's famous for giving PTSD to his respiratory system. I mean, I'm fat, but he's got his own orbit. So, do you know what I mean? He's irrelevant. So, Dad's going to talk about it, and Daddy Fudge shouldn't be so sensitive, should he?
Shouldn't be so what?
Sensitive. His boy got beat.
Yeah. Do you know that picture that's up there on this profile here of him laid on that settee?
Stunning. Yeah, go on.
Well, that's on billboards on M62 and near Tib Shelf Services down here, mate. Do you know before you go on A38?
Yeah,
You're coming up M1, it's there on right hand side and it says Bosch. And then some other writing underneath or something. I don't really get it. I mean, why is he all over the place, right? What is he to do? What is he to? He's not in ring, is he?
no,
Right, and his son is area level because would you say his son beats David Adelaide, who's English level?
no. David Adelaide walks through.
Right, and his son's just beat the White Rhino, hasn't he? Right? Well,
Yep.
they're giving it on points, but it was neck and neck, wasn't it? So
Hmm.
White Rhino area level as well, like Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, certainly he
So
is.
we've got two area level guys, area level. So why are they being paid astronomical amounts? Is it because of their social media presence?
Yeah, because that's all boxing seems to be about nowadays. That's why this Conor Ben and Eubank debacle is getting such traction. It's not on them,
Okay,
is it? It's their dads. So,
okay then. So if that's the case, then whatever happened to hard graft? Because is this where boxing's heading? Because shouldn't the Lazy Rhino and Elmer Fudd really be on like a Misfits show?
yep, I would agree with that. Dave Allen doesn't work hard enough to be given the opportunities that he has done. Really.
Mm, very interesting. I'm only just pointing this out. I mean, people are losing the shit over it, and I want to see it again. But let's talk sense here. David Adelaide wipes him out, and he's English level, isn't he, right? Because
Hmm.
Woodley done him, right? So if that Adelaide's English level and they can't beat him, they're a level below. That's area level, but they're
Hmm.
headlining at the Copper Box and been paying being paid big money. But there's a lot more talented kids in boxing that are fighting for scraps and that ain't got the social media presence. So these two. So is that the way forward for fighters? Now let's just not train hard and let's just or is it a rugby player one and took boxing up and just
Yeah.
he'll put his dad out there to big him up and Rhino obviously is on Twitter till 4 a.m. He don't get up for a run, does he? Is that where
No.
boxing's heading now?
Seemingly, and it's bad, isn't it? Because people shouldn't be afforded the opportunities unless they've done it in the ring. You said last week, Conor Ben, if he was called Conor Smith or Conor Jones, everyone would be saying, "You're shit. You're going to get absolutely walked through." So, unfortunately, that's what it is. People just like entertainment, don't they? And this Towie crowd that's following Johnny Fisher, they've just latched onto it, haven't they?
Yeah, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, James. It does, honestly. I want to see the fight because I've been bigging it up on here, but I just sometimes wonder if we're losing our minds with these sort of level fighters, the level that they're both at, right?
Hmm.
Headlining on big platforms and in biggish arenas on the strength of what? On the strength of
Yep.
what between them they've got an area belt. And that's
Yep.
that's that's Elmer Fudd's, and he got that
Exactly.
basically beating somebody who I didn't rate, but he's got an
Yeah.
area belt. Dave's got a snake belt that holding his Lonsdale bottoms up, and that's where we're at really with it, isn't it? Basically,
Hmm. He who shouts loudest gets the biggest opportunities. Like, and so about Conor Ben being angry, he's had to be angry as well because that's what sells, isn't it? Oh, I'm a roadman, I'm a gangster, I'm this, I'm that. You wouldn't stick him in Dagenham and see how he gets on. Gets stabbed.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, mate. Do you want to go on to
Certainly. I'll
Two,
turn me light.
James.
Yep, I'll turn me light on as well because I look like I'm holding a seance. See you in a bit.
Well, then I'll see you on part two, James. Pop, pop, bang. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. That's James, the housewife's favourite. Women hate him, men don't want to be him.